is founder of Katusa Research, and part of the reason we're here at the Silver and Gold Summit. Joins us now on the show. Marin, good to have you on the show. Congrats on the conference.
My pleasure, thank you.
So, we spoke in July, and last time we spoke, you mentioned how you felt that a higher gold and a higher US dollar would become the new normal.
Yeah.
So you almost aced it. You almost passed that exam.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. 5-0 and let's go.
5-0, right? So we definitely have the higher US dollar. We had the higher gold, and I mean, some would argue that gold is
I think we're in a transition here where people are, look, Fairfax, one of Canada's largest funds, is saying we're covering all our hedges in the US markets. Mm-hmm. They're giving, as Obama had a lot of social hope in the first year of his presidency, I think people are going to give Trump a 12 months hope in the markets, and he really thinks it's going to be great for business, and it's going to be great for the US economy. The reality is the fundamentals haven't changed for gold, right? We're going to add on another $1 trillion of debt. That's a lot of money. But I do believe the US dollar is also going to do well, because what are you going to own, right? And the euro is going to have more weakness. In December, you got the Italian vote coming. You saw what happened with Brexit, the yen. So there's so much uncertainty here.
Right.
I think the dollar and gold are a great place to be.
Well, there are a lot of uncertainties. And we have the German election, the French election, and Trump has said that he most likely will replace Janet Yellen. So a lot of uncertainties here. Do you think that gold will hold here at 1,200? Is that a solid support here?
Well, I've learned since Trump that I don't know. I could see it get into the 1100s, and who knows, it could get to 1080. But in the near term, I think there's going to be a lot more pressure. When someone like Stanley Druckenmiller comes out and says, I've sold all my gold, and all the reasons I hold gold appear to me not to be there anymore, you have to step back and go, okay, I have my own beliefs, but here's a really smart, successful guy, much more successful than myself, and many more billions, and you sit there and you go, wait a second, in the near term, remember these fund managers work on dimes though, right? Like they're in and out fast, but we're more longer term, so I think in the near term, yeah, gold's going to have more pressure.
Right, so gold under pressure now, but look at copper. So, he speaks about, Trump has been speaking about spending on infrastructure, and we've seen these industrial metals really take off. Is that a buy for you right now? Looking at these industrial
So I'm
metals.
heavily involved in copper, and I pay very close attention to it. I'm not sold yet on the major rally, because this appears from a fundamental base that a lot of production can come online at $250. So mines have been able to decrease their costs significantly. So people were saying, well, it has to get higher because mines are going to shut down. We didn't see that happen, because innovation, just like fracking, got a lot cheaper. So it's too early to call. I hope copper goes higher. It's definitely going to benefit me, but I'm pretty cautious on everything right now, and I'm very happy that my fund and myself personally are over 50% in US dollars. That's what my mantra's been for a while.
So are you taking a more of wait and see approach right now than starting to invest in new things?
The things I like, for example, Ross Beatty has a great company in the green energy space. Let's talk about the green energy. Who thought that it's going to sell off the way it has? But let's really think the ELCOs, the levelized cost of electricity generation, they've gone to a point where without government subsidies, they're still economic without the subsidies. So it can compete with coal, it can compete with natural gas, it competes with uranium. 5 years ago it didn't, but they've sold off in such a manner that everyone's expecting Trump to pull, that he's going to disappear all the green energy. It's a huge industry, it ain't going anywhere. I think it's a great buying opportunity.
Uranium, 12-year bear market here. Is that a buy for you?
Well, the lowest cost uranium producer in the world is $22 per pound, and the spot price is $18. But uranium's a really different market than copper or gold or any other commodity like oil. There's so much secondary market supply. So nuclear warheads, the Russians have tails that they can reproduce. So the cost of the SWUs, single work units, are so cheap now that they are able to produce more for less. I think if you position yourself in safe jurisdictions and you have a 3 to 5 year time frame, you're going to do okay. But if you need it to be on February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, to pay for your wife's bracelet, you're going to be in trouble.
You're behind this conference where we're at here today. What do you make of the sentiment you're seeing here? I always say you can really gauge a lot from the buzz in the room, and you kind of can foresee what we can expect in the next 6
A lot
months.
of
So what are you
confusion.
sensing?
People are really confused. A, that Trump won, and B, how is it bad for gold? And people are trying to figure out what's going on. And
Right.
a lot of people feel that they're in the twilight zone.
All right.
I think it's all going to come out.
We're going to try and answer some of those questions for viewers today. Marin Katusa, thanks so much for stopping by. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching our coverage. We'll have much more for you, so be sure to stay tuned to Kitco.com. Marin, thank you.
My pleasure.